Dear friends,
A few days ago, the world received a message of crucial importance. Pope Francis, with his calm and solemn voice, unveiled a terrible tragedy that will hit humanity in July. An announcement that left many of us incredulous and frightened. But, as always, the Pope guides us not only with concern but also with hope and education. This is a message we cannot ignore. We are at a crossroads, and our response to this warning could determine the future of all humanity. Pope Francis's revelation was not just a warning of an impending tragedy but also a call to collective responsibility. He spoke of natural disasters, wars, and the growing climate crisis that threatens our existence. It is no secret that our planet is suffering, but the urgency of this message requires deep and immediate reflection. The Pope stressed that we still have time to act, but time is running out. July could mark a point of no return if we do not start changing our behavior now. The first part of his speech touched on the deep roots of our crisis: human greed, lack of respect for nature, and social inequality. He mentioned how our consumerist lifestyle and disregard for the environment have accelerated climate change. The Earth, he said, is sending us signals of distress, and if we do not listen, the tragedy will be inevitable. But he did not stop there. He also spoke about the power of change and the role each of us can play in preventing disaster. It is essential to understand that this message is not just for governments or large organizations, but for each of us. Pope Francis urged us to reflect on how our daily actions affect the world. He spoke of the importance of living a more sustainable life, reducing waste, and respecting nature. It is not just a matter of global policies but of personal choices that, added together, can make a big difference. In a world where we often feel powerless in the face of such great problems, the Pope reminded us that every small gesture counts. Reducing plastic consumption, adopting a more ecological lifestyle, supporting green initiatives, and raising awareness in our communities are concrete steps we can take. Every time we choose to do the right thing for the planet, we contribute to a better future for all. The need for immediate change is not only about the environment but also about our society. Social inequalities are reaching unprecedented levels. Millions of people live in extreme poverty while a small elite enjoys immense wealth. This gap is not only unjust but also unsustainable. Global peace and stability depend on social justice. Pope Francis reminded us that we must work together to create a more equitable society, where every individual can live with dignity and respect. The Pope's words were also a reminder of our humanity. In an age of growing division and conflict, he urged us to rediscover the value of solidarity and empathy. He spoke of the need to build bridges, not walls, to seek dialogue, not confrontation. Only through cooperation and mutual understanding can we hope to overcome the challenges that await us. Now, let's take a moment to reflect together and pray. O Lord, who created this wonderful world, grant us the wisdom to respect and protect your creation. Enlighten our minds and hearts so that we may make wise and sustainable decisions. Help us to recognize the urgency of your message and respond with concrete actions. Amen. This prayer is an invitation to all of us to reconnect with our spirituality and find the inner strength to act. It is a moment to unite our voices in a chorus of hope and determination. I would like anyone who hears these words to join me in the comments by writing, Amen. A small gesture that symbolizes our unity and commitment. Another fundamental aspect of the Pope's speech was the call for solidarity. He spoke of the need to help the most vulnerable, those most affected by global crises, whether economic, environmental, or social. Inequality is another plague that fuels conflicts and suffering. Our humanity must be demonstrated through compassionate action and empathy. Helping others is not just a matter of charity but of justice. In a world where few have much and many have little, the Pope urges us to work for an equitable distribution of resources. This also means committing to policies and practices that support human rights and the dignity of every individual. The tragedy that could come in July is also a call to rethink our priorities and put humanity and the common good at the center. This is where the power of communities comes into play. United, we can do much more than alone. Pope Francis invited us to create networks of solidarity, to collaborate with other people and organizations that share our values. It is time to build bridges, not walls. To work together for a sustainable and just future. In light of all this, I want to encourage you to take a concrete step today. Subscribe to our YouTube channel where we will continue to discuss these crucial issues and share practical solutions. Together, we can educate and motivate each other. Every subscription is a small but significant step toward a more aware and active global community. Also, I would like to invite you to participate actively in this conversation. Share your opinions in the comments, discuss with other members of our community, and propose ideas on how we can act concretely to address the challenges that lie ahead. Every voice counts and can make a difference. Let us not forget that change starts with us. We can choose to be part of the solution rather than the problem. We can educate new generations to respect the planet and live sustainably. We can push our leaders to make decisions that protect the environment and promote social justice. Every small gesture counts and, together, we can make a big difference. In conclusion, let us remember that Pope Francis's message is not just a warning, but a call to action. July is rapidly approaching, and the time to act is now. We must not let the tragedy catch us unprepared. We still have time to make a difference. Let us change our habits, unite in solidarity, and work together for a better future. May the Lord guide us and give us the strength to do what is right. Thank you for following this important message. Continue to follow us for further updates and reflections. God bless you. To further delve into the matter, let's consider some concrete examples of how we can implement change. Let's start with reducing waste. Every year, tons of plastic end up in our oceans, poisoning marine life and threatening ecosystems. We can contribute to the solution by reducing the consumption of single-use plastics. Replace plastic bottles with reusable ones, use cloth bags instead of plastic bags, and look for sustainable alternatives for everyday items. Another important step is the adoption of renewable energy sources. Solar, wind, and hydroelectric power are clean alternatives that can reduce our dependence on fossil fuels. Investing in solar panels for our homes, supporting policies that promote green energy, and participating in community renewable energy initiatives are concrete ways to make a difference. Diet is another area where we can make significant changes. Reducing meat and animal product consumption can have a huge impact on the environment. The meat industry is one of the main drivers of deforestation, water pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. Opting for a more plant-based diet is not only healthy for us but also beneficial for the planet. Speaking of community, we cannot ignore the importance of volunteering and local activism. Joining environmental groups, participating in land cleanup projects, or simply educating others about environmental issues are all actions that can amplify our impact. Every little action contributes to a bigger change. Education is another fundamental pillar for change. We must invest in the education of future generations, teaching them the importance of sustainability and respect for nature. Schools and communities can organize workshops, educational programs, and practical activities that involve young people and prepare them to become responsible and aware citizens. Moreover, we cannot forget the power of politics. Actively participating in the democratic process, voting for leaders who support sound environmental policies, and putting pressure on our representatives to take concrete measures to combat climate change are essential actions. Our voice can influence political decisions and lead to significant changes. In this context, spirituality and faith can play a powerful role. Religious communities around the world have the capacity to mobilize millions of people toward a common goal. Faith offers us a moral perspective and a sense of responsibility toward others and the planet. Churches, temples, mosques, and synagogues can become centers of environmental education and action, guiding the faithful toward more sustainable and compassionate practices. We must not underestimate the impact of small daily actions. Choosing to walk or bike instead of driving, saving energy by turning off unnecessary lights, reducing water consumption, and recycling are all habits that, if adopted by many, can lead to significant change. Finally, I would like to emphasize the importance of mutual support. Facing a global crisis can seem like an overwhelming task. But together we are stronger. Sharing our concerns, encouraging each other, and celebrating common successes will help us maintain motivation and hope. In conclusion, Pope Francis's message is clear: we are facing an epical challenge, but we also have the power to change the course of events. July is rapidly approaching, and the time to act is now. We must not let the tragedy catch us unprepared. We still have time to make a difference. Let us change our habits, unite in solidarity, and work together for a better future. May the Lord guide us and give us the strength to do what is right. Thank you for following this important message. Continue to follow us for further updates and reflections. God bless you.